it's Alicia, and welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, welcome to the party. I've been seeing on the internet that people don't really like to take advice about weight loss from people who've never had to struggle with their weight. Well, I have struggled with my weight, and I thought it was important that I shared my story with you guys. I'm not sure how I feel about that stance though. I feel like there are people who haven't struggled with their weight because they've done X, Y, and Z. But I also understand wanting to take advice from somebody who's been where you are and came out on the other side successful. So I can see both sides. I want to know what y'all think about that. Let me know in the comments. I'm curious to see how y'all feel. But anyway, that's what led me to create this video. So let's get started. I was always pretty active growing up. Like I played sports, I was always running and jumping and playing outside. So I didn't have any issues with my weight when I was younger and into my early 20s. It was just never an issue for me. My struggles with my weight didn't start until I had kids, my beautiful babies. I had my daughter in 2011 and I was obsessed with maintaining my pre-baby body. So I was walking a lot, doing like cardio within reason because I was also really nervous about doing something to harm her. But I stayed active my entire pregnancy and I had her 2 weeks before my 25th birthday. And I did breastfeed her after giving birth. So the weight did fall off relatively quickly. And I kept doing things like walking, hiking, cardio, just always making sure I got up and got moving and I took her with me. So I was able to keep it off pretty well. I had my son in 2014 and I was like, piece of cake. I already know what to do. I did this once. I'm just going to nurse him and it'll be good. And it was at first. I nursed him, the weight fell off. But after, I stopped doing anything that was outside of taking care of the kids and going to work. Adding exercise on top of taking care of my 2 kids under 3, it just seemed like too much at the time. So I just didn't do it. And I let taking care of me fall by the wayside like a lot of women do. I gained a little over 30 pounds in the years following giving birth to him. I was fortunate with both my pregnancies. I didn't have any complications. I didn't have any underlying health issues. People did ask me if I had gestational diabetes with my son because he was so big when he was born. He was 9 pounds, 7 ounces. And no, I didn't have gestational diabetes. He was just a big baby. And he's still pretty big. He's usually one of the tallest, if not the tallest in his class. So he's just a big guy. That's my big guy. My daughter's birth weight was pretty average at 7 pounds, 8 ounces. She was long and lean and beautiful. I love being pregnant. I really enjoyed both of my pregnancies, but I definitely did fall into letting taking care of myself fall by the wayside. And I ended up not liking what I saw when I looked in the mirror. My husband was really great during this time. He always told me how good I looked. You're so beautiful. You're so pretty, no matter what size I was. But if you don't feel like you look good, it doesn't matter what somebody tells you. I could win people's most beautiful person and it wouldn't matter because I don't feel like I look good. So I was like, I got to get back to me. So around 2017, I decided to get into my fitness and nutrition and really get back to feeling like my best self. I started doing a lot of HIIT and plyometrics at home and I switched to a pescatarian diet and the weight started coming off. I lost about 20 pounds just doing that alone. I liked the way I looked, but I wanted to go harder. I wanted to lift weights. I wanted to go to the gym. I wanted to be a gym girly. But I had no idea like where to even start. My brother is an athlete and he's always lifted weights. So I had him for a little bit of a resource, but I don't like doing what he says. Like I'm sure it's a younger sibling thing, but as soon as he tells me to do something, I just have an overwhelming urge to not do it. There was this girl I was following named Hannah Oberg. I don't know if I'm saying her last name correctly. That's just how I've always said it. I'm sorry, Hannah, if I am saying it wrong. I'm sure she's not going to see this, but Hannah Oberg, I love her. She looked amazing. She was jacked, she was lifting weights, and she was advertising her workout program. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna buy this. It was only like $27. So I got the program and it came with this app called Athlete. That took me to a whole new level. The app had pretty much everything you needed to get started in the gym. It was an 8-week program. The days were broken down, the exercises were broken down, and for every exercise, she had a video right there in the app. You didn't have to click on it and go to YouTube. It was right there in the app that would show you proper form. So this was like a gym Bible for me. It was absolutely a game changer because at the time I was really self-conscious and I had worked up in my head that if I go to the gym, like people are going to be looking at me. I'm not going to know what I'm doing, which by the way, doesn't matter. People aren't paying as much attention to you as you think. I know when I go to the gym now, I'm locked in. Like I don't even notice what's happening around me most of the time unless it's happening directly to me. But if you do have like this self-consciousness about going to the gym, just go and get started and that will melt away eventually. It's mostly in your head. Like, people are not paying that much attention to you. And if they are, so what? You're there for you, not for them. But anyway, I would suggest getting something like that if you are nervous about starting the gym. Something that's user friendly that you can use while you're working out. When I first started out, I was in there for probably a long time, but now I'm in and out. Like, hour of lifting weights, 20 minutes of cardio, and I'm out. It takes time, and you have to be patient with yourself and allow yourself room to grow. I lost another 10 to 15 pounds after I started lifting weights and going to the gym regularly. And baby, I was back. I love the way I looked. I looked better than I did before I had kids. So I was on cloud nine about the way I looked. I was so happy. I kept working out. I got a little lax, but I was still working out consistently, and I was transitioning into a vegetarian diet. This was around like 2018, 2019. So going into 2020, I felt amazing. You notice what I said going into 2020? We all know what happened in 2020. COVID. COVID hit us so hard. I struggled. I'm not going to lie. I struggled in lockdown. I started eating whatever the heck I wanted. I stopped working out. I was drinking damn near every day. I was furloughed, so I was just at home chilling, not doing a damn thing. And then on top of that, I had corrective foot surgery at the end of 2020. So that really sat me down. I mean, I really fell off the wagon. And I gained all that weight I lost, all 30 pounds back. It didn't even take long. I was so sad and just disappointed in myself. I couldn't believe I was back in this place where I didn't like what I saw when I looked in the mirror. Fortunately for me, I've never been one to wallow in self pity. I'm like a fixer. So as soon as something's wrong, I want to do what I can to fix it. And this time around, it was a little easier because I've already done this before. The only hiccup was that I had a bum foot and I couldn't do much until it healed. But what I could do was start back eating right. And this is when my journey with nutrition came about. I've always been into nutrition, but since I was sitting and couldn't necessarily work out like I wanted to, I was doing a lot of research, a lot of reading, and I gained so much knowledge about nutrition. And once my foot started healing more and I could walk on it, I started going for walks. I couldn't walk too much, but I did what I could. I started doing upper body workouts because it wasn't nothing wrong with my upper body. I could still do, some sit ups, some push ups, some dumbbell workouts, all that. So I was doing that, and I decided to go back pescatarian. But then I watched this documentary called Seaspiracy, and I went full vegetarian. If you haven't seen it, you should watch it. I'm not trying to convince anybody to go vegetarian. I'm just saying it's a good documentary. Watch it. You're not gonna love it, but it's a good documentary. And another thing I did was I deleted my Instagram. I feel like Instagram can be really harmful if you're not in the right headspace because I was doing a lot of comparing and it was a reminder that I'm not where I want to be. And that wasn't really good for my mindset, so I deleted it. I had a lot of followers, but they were like ghost followers. They didn't engage with me really anyway, and I had had the page since 2012, so it was probably time for me to start fresh. I just permanently deleted that page. My weight loss wasn't instant, and like a crazy person, I expected it to be, and I was probably much harder on myself than I needed to be. But I stayed consistent and started doing more and more gradually as my foot was healing. Oh, by the way, I had bunion surgery on my left foot. And no, I didn't get bunions from wearing too small shoes. They actually run in my family. My dad has them, my grandma has them, my aunt has them. They're just hereditary. So I got the one on the left foot removed. And something that happened with the surgery is that I can run like crazy. Like, I run all the time. All my life, I would avoid running as much as possible because afterward, my feet would hurt so much. But after the surgery, like, I run all the time. I do 5Ks. Running is my go-to cardio. I love running. I used to always be like, how do people love running? It is not it. But now I'm one of those people. So that was a plus that came with the surgery. And by the end of 2023, I had lost all the weight that I had gained and I was feeling great and looking great. I started sharing what I had learned about nutrition with my family and friends. And I decided to rejoin Instagram and create a page where I shared nutrition tips and fitness tips and wellness tips. And I started getting DMs about the information I was sharing. And that prompted me to look into nutrition coaching. And I got that certification in December of 2024. And I created guides and freebies that are all on my website. I also got really into juicing. So I created a juice recipe book that's also on my website. And continuing to share this on Instagram made me think, I could start a YouTube channel and share nutrition information in a way that's easy to understand. And that's how Eat Well with Leisha was born. I'm Leisha. I'm going to show you how to eat well. I just love being a resource for people and helping people realize that nutrition is not hard. And I'm here to help you figure it out. So that is my weight loss journey. Thank y'all so much for watching the video. And I hope you learned a little bit about me. And I hope you guys feel like, okay, I could trust this girl. I'm so happy with where I am right now. I feel great mentally, physically, emotionally. I feel like I'm stepping into the best version of myself. And I want that for everyone. The information and advice I give doesn't just come from, a book and me passing a test. It comes from my own personal experience too. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And remember, the comeback is always bigger than the setback.